Disney parks are facing competition like they have never before. Universal Studios is now on an onslaught of releasing new parks, new expansions, new lands, and all of it is wonderful. Not only that, but when Universal releases their concept art, what we get in the end actually turns out to be better. But how is it possible that Universal Studios is able to do all of this while Disney seemingly can't do anything? Well, it turns out that Disney is paying for Universal Studios' new parks and expansions. And we're not making it up. And we'll explain it, folks, so sit tight, hang tight. We're going to tell you the shocking way in which Disney is empowering their biggest competition and perhaps the Disney downfall. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WDW Pro channel. A joy as always. Thank you for helping us explain entertainment and keep people ahead of the culture curve just by you clicking on the video. Today, we are going to be explaining how exactly the Walt Disney Company is empowering their biggest competitor in the theme park landscape, giving Universal Studios the money they need to defeat Disney. Joining us today is Vash Sky, co-anchor of That Park Place, the YouTube channel. Sir, welcome back.
Yeah, hello there. Happy to be back. Talking about this is, I've characterized it this way before. It's like living through the Disney decade, but with another company. I mean, it really is.
It's the inverse Disney decade if you're Disney. We'll begin, though, out of Variety, and this confirms something that we reported on a very long time ago, folks. Typically, when these things happen, when we've had a scoop that comes absolutely true, we go back, we play the video. We don't have time this time. There's just been too many of our scoops coming true lately. Not saying that to be braggadocious, but just it's the truth. And we don't have time for this video because it's a little superfluous. But yes, Hulu is being integrated into Disney Plus in exactly the same way that we told you it would be back when we broke the news, I guess, exclusively on this channel about Project Hulk and how all of this was going to work. Yes, Hulu is being merged into Disney Plus. And so I tell you what, here's a little scavenger hunt out there, folks. If you're a longtime follower of the channel, and you know where that video is, where we talked about this, go find it, link it in the chat, and help those other folks out there discover it. But it says that it's called Project Hulk because it will make Disney Plus bigger and greener. And it's currently just one of those first steps in a plan. The idea is to make it easier for customers who've bought the Disney Plus Hulu bundle to view Hulu content within the Disney Plus app. Variety says that Disney Plus adds Hulu content for bundle subscribers in beta launch, but not everything from Hulu is available, just like we said. Now, the reason we show you this is because, guess what? Disney has said that this is costing them a particular amount of money. Fortune and others, such as Valiant Renegade, are reporting that it's actually a lot more money that Disney is spending. Out of Fortune by Christian Hetzner, Disney is buying Comcast stake in streaming service Hulu, but the $8.6 billion price tag is just the beginning and could go much higher. And that is indeed what we have been reporting for a long time.
Yep.
Now, all of this matters because Comcast is, Comcast owns what set of theme parks, Vash?
Comcast owns the Universal Studios theme parks all across the world.
And so Disney is paying Comcast for Hulu integration, right? Because Comcast still owned 1/3 of Hulu, and Disney is stuck buying that 1/3, and Disney's probably going to spend somewhere between $12 and $21 billion to finish out buying that 1/3 of Hulu. Yep. And so wonder what is Comcast going to do with all that money, I wonder? What do you think, Vash?
Oh, they're going to invest it in their theme park division that has seen, honestly, record gains. I mean, we're talking like double-digit gains every single earnings call. It is really, really stunning to see the level of revenue growth, and Universal recognizes that more than anybody, obviously, and they're looking to double down.
That's right. At the same time that Disney Plus has yet to break a profit, and now they're going to integrate Hulu, which is a very successful streaming platform, into said Disney Plus, well, it seems like they are going to take the money that Disney is providing to the theme parks now, their competitors, and build tons and tons of theme parks and expansions. Take a look at this. Coming out yesterday out of Orlando ParkStop, Universal Kids Resort Texas update, new concept art and rumored lands for Frisco theme park. Yes, that's right, folks. It's Universal Kids Resort coming to Texas. Yep. And it's fantastic. It's amazing. It's just the kind of thing that Disney hopes they won't build, but they will. And look at this. out of ClickOrlando.com, just very
Yep.
recent as well. Universal's new Epic Universe hotels announced names and opening dates. Resort hotels scheduled to open in 2025. It's massive. It's huge. It's tremendous. And opening very fast, construction going very quickly in comparison to Epcot, which has been a construction zone for like a decade. And all we got out of it was no more fountain, but a set of urban parks with a planter in the middle of it that resembles anatomy that we won't mention here.
Well, hang on now, Pro. We did get some nice, colorful lights. They might not be working all completely already.
I will say, Vash, that in the evenings, for the 2 to 3 hours that it's dark at Epcot, that guests are roaming around, I agree. It's very, very nice.
Right.
It's just a shame that during the day, all of that money and time that was spent at Epcot really just resulted in park space, just urban parks.
And you saw that the lights that they did install are already having technical issues, which is really unfortunate. We'll see how that story progresses. But Universal is doubling down, and on that what is it? Terra Nova Stella hotel complex right there. That is the first of many, by the way, to be added to this to the Epic Universe site, but also the corridor from the Universal Core, which is basically Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida, to Epic Universe. They have they have land acquisition there right now, but they plan to buy up a lot of the land leading to both complexes there and filling those in with more resort hotel properties. We're going to see, I think, stunning growth in this segment of their business for the next 10 years. Absolutely.
Vash, how much are these parks costing Universal Studios to build? Like, what's the price tag for Epic Universe?
I think the price tag for Epic Universe, I think it was anywhere between $4 or $5 billion, if I recall correctly.
$4 to $5 billion, and they're building the largest. It is the largest theme park in North America, right? Once it's finished.
I think it might be. I hadn't necessarily heard that stat, but I can tell you right now that the plans for Epic Universe are unbelievably ambitious. Not even what we're seeing right now. What we're seeing right now is massive in scale. I was able to tour the site when I was actually in Florida not too long ago, and it is just tremendously huge. Anybody saying that, oh well, they should take the concepts for Epic Universe and fit them into their existing parks is just not realistic. These things are much bigger than anything that could fit in their existing parks and resorts properties. Not only that, but the ambitions beyond this, for example, like they have a phase 2 already kind of in development right now and ready to go once Harry Potter World opens, for example, as part of this park, right? We already have
Epic Universe, Vash, is bringing Super Nintendo World. Princess Peach will have her castle there. It may be the more popular castle in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've seen that Donkey Kong Country is coming to Japan. Now we believe that's probably coming to Epic Universe as well.
Right.
You've got all of this competition coming to Disney at a time when they're at their weakest. And what's amazing to me is, the cost that Epcot is. We think that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has a price tag, or excuse me, not Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind has a price tag over $1 billion. We also believe that the Central World Celebration, the thing that was just open that we've had a chance to see, the Epcot overhaul, was about $400 million. And then we think that Illuminous, the new fireworks show, when you factor in the cost of Harmonious, and then Illuminous being a failure when they tried to get the soundtrack done and they had to redo that, that is, it's very, very expensive. You add it all up, the changes to Epcot get close to $2 billion, and there's not much to show for it. And you compare that to Epic Universe, which is, as you said, $4 to $5 billion. Mm-hmm. And then you think about the Fresno Park. Okay, so the park coming to Texas, probably going to be in the range of $1 billion to $2 billion.
Probably.
And what you realize, Vash, is that while Disney is spending money and basically not getting anywhere, right? Epcot still has the same capacity. Epcot largely still has the same problems it had before. Epcot is arguably better, arguably worse than when they started. And that's when you spend that kind of money, you don't want to be arguably worse. But you compare that to what Universal Studios is doing, and all the money that is being spent on these Universal Studios parks is covered by the cost that Disney is paying them to buy Hulu. It's incredible.
It really is, and that's, I think, kind of why they're interested in kind of expanding their footprint in this space so aggressively, because they know they're about to get a windfall of in the
Why would they not?
maybe
It's
the
free.
tens of billions of dollars. Yeah, it's insane when Bob Iger and the interim CFO took to the earnings call. They mentioned multiple times the word turbocharge. And we're going to turbocharge the resort properties. We're going to turbocharge the parks division. Before saying that turbocharging will come at the latter half of that 10-year plan that they supposedly have, not the front half. So beginning by 2028, maybe we'll get some big construction, big announcements, whatever. And people were criticizing them to say that that's not necessarily turbocharging, but the Universal guys were quick to point out that yes, they are turbocharging. There's turbocharging the other company. It's what they're doing. It's quite stunning to see this. Just the ambition level of Universal Studios right now. If you follow that link that I gave you in the private chat there, you'll even see that even when they're more minor projects, let's say, I don't want to call a project over $1 billion anything minor, but in comparison to maybe Epic Universe, for example, it might be. But this Universal Kids Park, right? If you go down below, you can actually see the first version of this artwork. And people can contrast this with the first version of the Epcot artwork, for example. And you can see right here the number of buildings that are located there.
So is this the first? Am I looking at the first now, Vash?
This is the second.
Okay, so let's go back to the first. Walk us through this.
Right. So you have an entrance complex made up of a hotel, right? And it has some very whimsical architecture. But you can see how many levels it has. That looks like maybe like a 5-story or 4-story hotel. And you can see the size of a person in comparison to some of those, buildings and walkways and so forth. You can see.
Vash, lately, every time we get an image like this out of Disney, they clarify later on, after the press has run with it like a bunch of pixie dust drunken yippies. Right. They clarify like 6 months later, that was all blue sky. We're not really doing that. That was just us imagining.
Exactly.
That's not how this works with Universal, right?
No.
They have actual money from Hulu, from Disney paying them vast amounts of money for Hulu. So they're not imagining. This is really what they're going to do.
This is really what they're going to do. You can see the number of buildings there present. So I counted like 13. This is kind of a rough thing here. And you can see the number of flat rides. If you go to the second artwork that we just they just put out, you can see the number of buildings have actually increased.
So they expanded the... Well, of course they expanded. Of course. That's exactly how this would work as opposed to Disney, which has cut back and cut back and cut back from what we originally get. This is the opposite. No wonder people are getting excited about Universal Studios.
That's what I'm saying, right? You can see the hotel complex, even though it's not maybe as whimsical as it was before. You can see it has grown substantially. You can see it's added a couple of levels there. You can see the pathways are much smaller and the people are much smaller. It's because this has expanded in scope and scale. It's crazy. When have we ever seen this from Disney, where the first bit of concept artwork is even what is it?
Less grandiose. Yeah,
exactly.
Actually, do we have any idea what the what intellectual properties might be going into Universal Kids?
Yes. So I think the big one that made people very, very happy was the inclusion of SpongeBob SquarePants. Is actually going to be featured here. We know
Jellyfish Fields, perhaps.
Maybe, right? We know that Despicable Me is expected to have a presence. Obviously, those Minions, man, they're really something. The kids love them, so we can expect that there. Maybe like Jurassic Park, but with baby dinosaurs there.
Baby dinosaurs, not the spitting kind either. Those are dangerous baby dinosaurs.
Exactly. So think a la the first half of Jurassic World, right, where you got the little kids and they're riding the baby dinos with the saddles and everything.
Yeah, the nice
something like that.
Like Barney, but less annoying.
Exactly. So they're already imbuing this with some top tier franchises that I think people will come out for, and they're targeting a market. I mean, a lot of people were kind of critical of this park because it was, it wasn't like a resort destination theme park, for example, but they're targeting a market that has kind of been underserved a little bit, and they recognize that it's like, hey, what do we have in terms of value options for young families looking to take their kids to something, right? That's maybe a little bit closer. The Texas location being that maybe a locals driven park, regional kind of theme park, a la Legoland or something, maybe slightly larger. And then, we can get people excited about the Universal product before actually spending big money to get you out to either Florida or in Hollywood. And even in Hollywood, they're supposed to be breaking ground on a big hotel complex in the next couple of months, actually, once they finalize the contracts with Lowe's. We've already got a shipping manifest getting the first pieces of track to the site for what is it? the Fast and Furious coaster. We got the tower crane already set up over there, and so they're doubling.
Ash, while you tell us about all these things happening,
please.
Let me show you what Hulu Money will also buy over in Universal Studios Japan.
Oh yes, Here we go.
I think the folks might like seeing this. Of course, no audio, but yeah, it's just funny what all that Hulu money is able to pay for, and of course, Universal Studios, the beneficiary of Disney, spending and spending and spending at a time they really can't afford it. Bob Iger spending all this money to pick up Hulu. And then the funny thing is, of course, that Hulu is by far more successful in terms of their finances versus Disney Plus. And what are they doing? The exact same thing we said they would do here on this channel, integrating Hulu into Disney Plus, right? So they're strapping their most successful streaming platform into their least successful streaming platform in terms of profitability. So
right,
fantastic. But you get Donkey Kong Country, folks. So whenever you see Hulu, the Hulu blade inside Disney Plus, just know that brought forth Donkey Kong Country.
And everything you're seeing in this video actually is going to be an opening day experience when Epic Universe opens. So you're going to get
that's beautiful.
You're going to get the whole Donkey Kong Country. You're going to get the whole, Mario,
with a coaster, right?
Yoshi. Yes, with the coaster. It's going to be all opening day. So I know. Yep, with the coaster right there, that kind of jumps the track right there. That will be included in this coaster experience. I mean, it is marveling. Yep. They have been working on that coaster for quite some time. We've seen some.
Well, and speaking of Marvel, Vash, of course, Universal Studios Orlando still has Marvel as well. So,
yes, they do.
The hits just keep coming.
Man. It's just the hits keep coming, and there no signs of letting that one go. By the way, but we've got this going on right here. We also have plans to maybe expand the footprint of Nintendo properties inside the parks. I know there are plans right now going on currently to bring Zelda into Islands of Adventure.
And Vash, do you know that? We've reported on that in the past, and I would love to have that scoop corroborated and confirmed. Are you sure that Zelda is now coming to where Lost Continent was?
I have heard from two separate sources that is indeed what is in the works.
I would love to have it for the end of the year. I would like to have another major scoop confirmed. We got to get that audit going well. Next week, folks, by the way, is when we'll begin that audit of Poor Little Pro. I don't know of many other channels that do this, but we're going to have Lauren Connor and Culture Casino come in and go through all of the supposed scoops and rumors and everything that I've said is coming, and they're going to harshly critique me and find out what my score might be for the year 2023. So, Come on, Vash, help me get this one confirmed. Come on, Nintendo, announce Zelda. Let's do it.
I'll see what I can dig up for you and see if we can get that confirmed. Oh, sorry, my audio.
One more question for you, Vash, before we wrap up this conversation today.
Please.
Disney parks are not in a good place unless you're in China.
No.
It's the most bizarre strategy I've ever seen. Of course, we've had that audit come out. I haven't asked you yet about the audit. I think that's a video for another day.
Yeah.
But for folks who have not been following that or missed out on the number of videos we've done there, an independent audit has found that Disney has been involved in all kinds of just horrible stuff. There's going to be legal action for 10 years probably. And so that's going to be another anvil on the head of the creativity opportunities for Disney. Vash, in your opinion, this is a little harsh, but I think it's warranted at this point.
Sure.
Given what Universal Studios has managed to accomplish and is going to accomplish, given their plans that are coming to fruition, and given what we've seen out of places like Epcot, where it's just like, it's fine. it's fine. But you spent $2 billion for fine.
Right.
At what point should legitimate Disney fans, Disney Parks fans, actually be saying, probably time for Josh D'Amaro at least to go?
Man, that's an interesting question. I think
what is Josh D'Amaro succeeded at, Vash? How's that?
Yeah,
what has he done well, at least with the U.S. parks?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, right? I mean, maybe Genie Plus, if you want to attribute to him, but
no.
Well, hey, for shareholders, institutional investors, and everything like that, and
yeah, in the short term, but in the long term, if you milk your customers hard enough, if you nickel and dime them, they'll tell their buddies and pals at home that they did not have the same kind of experience they had, 2 decades ago at Disney.
I don't disagree at all. I think Genie Plus is a failure of a product, and I long for the days of fast passes and so forth. And it's a monetization of the parks that we've not yet seen from Disney, and it has created this idea.
So what's Josh got right, Vash? Because I struggle to come up with stuff that he's done right.
Man,
and I'm not trying to be mean.
No, I ask people all the time, what has this guy done? Like, what is this guy? What can
the fireworks show at Epcot? The fireworks show at Epcot, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10.
Right.
It's way better than Harmonious.
Yes.
It's not as good as Reflections or Illuminations, Reflections of Earth.
Right.
But it's it's better. It's just not as good as So I don't know I don't know what he's done that's amazing. Tron isn't that great. I'm really struggling here.
I think the only project that you can kind of, maybe necessarily connect to him is maybe like Toontown or something like that.
Toy Story Land is fine. Was he over?
No. Toy Story Land, that was long before his tenure.
Bob Chapek, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Bob Chapek. So you can't necessarily say Toy Story Land. Remember, Epcot, the revitalization plans for that theme park were announced in 2019. So he doesn't become a parks chairman until 2020, 2021.
Yeah, strips it down though.
You can't. I mean, maybe the reopenings, but
I don't know. I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but something. You got to have something good on your track record, and so far this is rough. I'll give him something. The after hours special events, like Mickey's Not So Scary. Other than the first day of Jollywood. Oh my gosh! Other than that, those have gone well, and they've been popular with locals. But it's pretty small in comparison to everything else.
I agree, but usually aren't those really handled by the resort vice presidents and presidents of those individual properties?
I am trying to find something positive.
I'm trying too. I'm trying with you, and I can't really attribute much to him. I think maybe the Spider-Man thing that launches from Avengers Campus. I believe I remember hearing an Imagineer saying, "Hey, Josh, thanks for giving us the money to do this." But it's like, I really am struggling. He really has been this kind of pencil pusher, this kind of guy that's been able to, get
a good smile,
increased yields. Yeah,
got a really good smile.
Right, reduce costs.
Very nice. I've heard he's a nice guy, Vash. He's very nice with guests and with cast members. Remembers people's names, but
I've heard cast members recently.
I've
heard cast members recently actually kind of turn on him a little bit, suggesting that when he was maybe a parks president, whether it be Animal Kingdom or whether it be Disneyland, that he was very personable, that he was very much like, know your name, the great aspects that we've heard internally from him, but that's kind of softened as he's moved up this corporate ladder here. And to me, it seems like he wants to get that approval from his corporate bosses in order to be the first rung on that ladder, potentially, of that CEO successor position.
It's no fun to be in charge at a company when everything is going wrong. So, maybe he's just a victim of the time and the circumstance. But I'll tell you this, Vash, I think Universal Studios is going to eat Disney's lunch over the next decade. I don't see any other way around this. And at the same time, all of their projects are being subsidized by Disney paying such huge sums of money for Hulu. It's amazing. Give me your final thoughts, Vash.
Final thoughts. Okay, so we haven't even talked about, by the way, the cruise line ambitions that they have. We haven't talked
You're talking about
Europe.
Universal, right?
Yeah, Universal.
Again, another video for another day because I mean, it's
Exactly.
crazy. But yes, those cruises also being bought by Hulu.
Right, exactly. So whatever ambitions they have in that space, Hulu Money is going to be a part of it. We haven't even talked about Universal Europe, whether it be London or Spain or whatever. We haven't talked about HHN at Area 15, I believe, in Vegas. Right, we haven't talked about any of those things. Which, if you want to hear more about those discussions, you can definitely find me at Theme Park Universe, where I talk to Theme Park Wizard about those. But we also haven't talked about, like, for example, Christopher Nolan has been cited touring the parks. We talked about on That Park Place, which you can also go ahead and see me and Jonas there host those Daily Countdown videos that everybody loves and the live shows and everything. You can go ahead and subscribe to that. But Christopher Nolan touring the parks and a survey coming out asking people about maybe an Oppenheimer experience for the studio tour. That's also kind of in the works on the side here. I mean, they are just spreading themselves out over the entire globe and really, turbocharging their theme parks and experiences division in a way that we can only dream of as Disney fans to see.
You know, people out there, so many in the past, I think this is changing rapidly now, but so many thought that Bob Iger was just absolutely the best, chief executive officer of an entertainment company over the past 30, 40 years. And for a long time, I would have agreed, honestly.
Yeah.
But we're watching Universal Studios become the worldwide leader in theme parks.
Yep.
We're at the cusp of it now. And the money that is, the money that they're doing that with is coming from Disney paying them. And that's just phenomenal leadership on the side of Comcast and exceedingly poor leadership on the side of Disney. So, well, we'll keep watching it, folks. We also want to say a thank you to all of the members out there of the channel. You all selected this topic, and we're glad that you did. Folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe. When you click it, you stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know your thoughts on this situation. And yes, we'll be getting back to the spicy stuff come Monday as we continue to go through that audit of all things Disney. We've got major news breaking about Jonathan Majors, Marvel, and much more, and we'll be back on it very, very soon. Make sure to follow Vash over on That Park Place, as well as with Theme Park Wizard. And folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Clickbait, fraud, drama queen. Ugh, I wish there was a channel that was 5 to 6 minute news reads without the drama, frauds, and clickbait that could accurately let me know the current news, providing my crucial context utilizing all the different That Park Place contributors and creators.
Well, stupid. There is. It's the That Park Place YouTube channel, which will be going live real soon, so make sure you're subscribed so you can really stick it to the algorithms.
You're joking.
Nope.